And I think.
Oh, this stream got hit by Nintendo.
What? They're not as fucking brutal as I remember them being.
They used to be fucking terrible.
God, yeah,
oh, absolutely. Yeah.
I guess they got tired of people being angry at them every time their favorite streamer got taken down.
They just use your magic ninja powers. Should I even say that?
Is it just not showing now? What the fuck?
Let me see. Let me.
Yeah, somebody give
Is
me
this on FNGR or Fanon?
Yeah, it's. I'm looking at the main.
Yep.
Yeah,
I can see your.
I see it.
Well, somebody throw it to me so I could pass it around at least in the rooms and fucking tweet it out real quick.
I will link that to you right now.
All
Speaking of appearing, hey, Azzy.
Oh, hey.
I am live.
Dude.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay.
Anthony was right. This is ad friendly. Wait, you were talking about the other video.
Ha. Gotcha.
Bunk. And bunk.
I already fucking posted it.
Don't die.
Don't die indeed.
I just
Now I'm not the only one with a coughing problem.
no, I just slightly breathed in, and a
God damn
little
it.
drop of saliva just went down the wrong pipe.
If she breathes, then I don't know.
She's a thought!
No.
If he breathed, he died.
With LiConvoy reviews. AZ the elf. David.
Haiti, Jamaica.
I also.
Instepious.
Oh.
And Countess Rose. And Hateful Tate, which there's no way in hell I'm gonna get the spelling right.
Alright, hold on. Let me help you out.
I go by many names.
Indeed.
Alright, let me help you out.
Very
with
well
this
done,
H.
Lucifer. Fuck.
Alright, Anthony, I'm gonna help you out with this H.
No, it's already fucking posted it, so...
Okay, well, you literally just said...
Alright, let me just make
It's
sure.
mine.
Yep, the audio is definitely going. That's fucking beautiful. So, do you feel like a good place to start?
Oh, that is a really nice, clean frame rate. Holy hell.
Is it?
Oh my god.
Yep. I can't tell if
Let's
it's
watch
fucking
it go to crap now because you jinxed it.
Well, I mean, I've got 8 cores on this bitch, so anyways. Hi, guys. I'm here with Hateful Tate, LiConvoy, Instepious, Countess Rose, AZ the Elf, and David. And we're here to talk about Alicor. Anyone feel free to back up this stream, since basically the people over at Alicor's server is like, we're gonna flag it for bullying, so we're all gonna make sure. We're all gonna make sure to be on our
Just pop up my OBS. The audio going.
Hold on. 1080p, 60 FPS? Holy. I
Yeah,
don't even mess with the quality settings.
Like,
no, the people in the server are like, this is too clean, we gotta take it down.
okay.
I don't even know what you guys are talking about. The elf has been basically dead for the past, few months.
Alright, then I'm going to go ahead and give a rundown so nobody else has to ask that question. Alright, so we found out that Draco was in a server ran by a porn artist who goes by the moniker of Alicor. When confronted on this, Alicor decided, well, it's not my problem because it didn't happen in this server. They have discussed him previously and talked about how all the claims were done by Brony bullies that could not be trusted because I guess, say mean things that hurt their feelings. Earlier today, if I recall correctly, they kicked Anthony out because of his original video and then went on this asinine tirade, from what my source told me, about how one of them wants to dox Anthony. One says that even if Draco sent porn, it's covered by Romeo and Juliet laws.
Hold it. I'd like to give a shout out and a special thanks to Vita. I can't be doxxed. It's already been done. But anyways, so yeah, good luck with that, kids. What am I looking for here?
You're about to have your entire family ship.
Oh, lol. Anyways, but as for the whole thing there, what was the first complaint you had there at the very beginning there, Leo?
Let me go pull it up. I got to get it out of my DMs.
There, I'm just reading this off from the first person who made a complaint here. Lee Renwall. Harassing Alicor and directing hate towards his server only serves to prove that they are just as bad as Draco. Good job, FNGR. Way to be a hypocrite. You're part of the problem. Okay, let's talk about that for a minute, ladies and gentlemen.
Centrist.
Oh, and by the by, guys, I did have a conversation with Alicor. It's rather long. I may or may not include that in this stream. It'll definitely be coming out later because our boy.
My name is Ivan.
Yes, he a good friend, our Russian friend Alicor. Step, what are you doing? Stop playing the part of Kayla and fucking up my rhythm in the stream. Anyways, harassing Alicor and dressing hate towards his server improves the... I don't remember fucking specifically sending anyone into the server. I said if someone wanted to go check it out for themselves, you could find the link around, which actually I had a hard time trying to find earlier today. But yeah, they threw me out of Alicor's server, despite them saying, word for word, constantly, we cannot throw out Draco K-Night Blaze because he has not acted poorly in this server. And yet, despite me not acting poorly in the server, I was thrown out for content or basically making people uncomfortable outside of it.
Amazing, isn't it?
Yeah, what do you guys think about that? Do you think that it's more potent to throw out the quote-unquote... Do I even have to say alleged pedophile? What do you guys think?
No. I think you can... let's cover our bases. It's called Predator. I think that's better.
Mhm.
Yes. The unwise person who goes as low as, what, 15?
Yes.
Okay.
Individual.
Yes, the unwise...
I thought he doesn't care about age or something. He doesn't look at age because he thinks that all children and adults think the
Irrelevant.
same.
Yeah.
Irrelevant. Moving
It's
on.
irrelevant.
Dumbass,
It's relevant
moving
to
on.
his
All right, yeah.
thought
The
process.
unwise gentleman who's 20 or higher, who went as low as 15, and recently, an Alicor server, supposedly went after somebody who was 16. Now, when I tried to talk... Yes.
One more thing I wanted to add to that. It was funny. He said when he sent her the inappropriate image, he said, "Oh, I forgot she was 16. I forgot she was 15 for a second."
Asinine. Anyways, moving on.
Yeah, but here's the whole gist. Basically, Alicor said, well, that person isn't really even a girl. It's a guy. And, they lie about their things and this, that, and the other. And he's like, what's the motivation? Like, what is to be gained out of this? And I said, well, look, I don't expect you to be able to go through specifically and, grill every last person in your porn server. But here's the whole thing. If you're admitting that you have kids in your server that have snuck in and duped you by simply saying or, clicking a button, I think you have a duty and responsibility if you're going to wink at them being kids by not having someone who goes after kids.
One would think.
Yeah. And I said to him very clearly, very straight matter-of-factly, look, man, I don't need to talk about your Folocon, which, you know what, if Leo goes off the rails and decides to do this in this stream, oh, gee, shucks, I mean, I tried to be nice. Yeah.
In due time.
Let's just all keep in mind that he posted that full con in the channel that I had to point out to him wasn't protected by an NSFW warning.
I mean, it's not like I'm saying that I'm like putting up bounties to top of the barrel to go raid that server. Yet.
I disavow. I disavow.
I've totally not done that. Basically, I don't remember sending anyone specifically in there. The only person I remember off the top of my head, Hateful City got kicked. John Bubba went in there and asked a couple questions and got kicked. He got kicked within 30 seconds of asking a couple questions, and the guy's like, that caused drama. And
I think. Well, there's a game. Are we talking about Barrel or are we talking about Alcor server?
Alicor server.
Okay. When you said kicked hate, I immediately think Barrel because there's apparently an ongoing headhunt game to where hate can sneak in and he has to lay low.
Okay.
So
I'm not going to tell anyone if I am in the server or not at the present time.
That means yes.
I haven't seen him.
Anyways, I lost my thought there.
Yeah, you were talking about
Bubba
John
got kicked out.
Yeah, no,
Bubba
had this wonderful
drama.
John Bubba
got
had,
kicked.
Yes.
Yeah, hold it. John Bubba had this wonderful analogy where he talked about, he said, look, imagine if you went into a restaurant and on the counter was a giant, disgusting, disease-ridden rat, and you went up to the owner and said, hey, look, there's a rat on the table. And basically the owner's like, get the fuck out of my goddamn restaurant, you're causing drama. Now, to be fair, yes, talking about the rat, which may or may not be a metaphor for Draco Night Blaze, is going to cause drama. But at the same time, leaving it there, it just seems like a bad idea. What do you guys think?
almost like it'll cause rotten decay or something, or disease.
I prefer the analogy that the rat is a rattlesnake, honestly.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'd like to go ahead and get into a little bit of the information from my source here. This is mostly from Pinky Cult Wandering. You know, I already reported all of the videos Hateful 8, or whatever his name is, had on his channel for harassment and hate speech. Looks like I get to do the same with FNGR now, too. Now, this is going to be kind of long, so bear with me here. Yep, I watched that video and definitely lost brain cells. These YouTuber a-holes are the neighborhood busybodies of the Brony community, and they're utterly pathetic, says the guy who won't kick out a pedophile. Moving on. At this point, they're going to make it a point to smear Alicor and everyone in the server just because Alicor won't play along in their witch hunt. Two things. Number one, it's not a smear campaign if it's accurate. And number two, the witch trial comment comes from the Salem, Massachusetts witch trials. The comparison here is witch hunts are bad because there were no witches in Salem, but there are pedophiles in the Brony community. Your analogy is awful. I am in agreement with Alicor, so you're a mental infant too. That said, Draco did indeed solicit lewd RP with a minor in the server, even if it didn't go anywhere, and that minor would have been protected under the Romeo and Juliet laws in most states due to their proximity to adulthood. Incorrect. Romeo and Juliet states authorized a 3-year gap between ages. Meaning if you're 17 going into 20, sure. This person was 15, Draco's in his 20s. You're objectively wrong on law. That is the only example of bad behavior by Draco in the server that I'm aware of, and they compiled the screenshots present in the video from a conversation from over 6 months ago. Well, then why didn't you kick him out 6 months ago? And I called this... Go ahead.
Yeah, no, to be fair, he sat there and said, well, we didn't know. And I'm like, well, I specifically asked you guys, and Hateful Tate brought this up. He said, the minute we find out that something happens, we'll let you guys know. Oddly enough, we had to hear it from our people.
Uh-huh. And I called this kind of BS happening when the last person DM'd the minor, threatening them with the rather ominous warning. What in the world? I shut his little punk butt down, and now, having seen FNGR's video, I wish they had the privilege of doing the same to FNGR. Calls open, big boy, anytime you're ready.
Yeah, no doubt.
I'd initially given him the benefit of the doubt because he was at least somewhat polite, unlike the rest of his a-hole comrades, until it was revealed he tried to bribe the admin team. You value politeness more than you do the safety of children. Please find a bridge. These guys aren't exactly interested in justice. They live off starting drama and hatred so they can get views. Actually, no, it's to make sure people are safe. I don't think that they're going to stop now that Alcor is on their radar, not until he kicks him. They have the justification that they need to pursue a witch hunt to get Alcor. And let's see here, against Alcor and the members of the server for enabling Draco, because you are. It doesn't matter that we're trying to play Switzerland and not partaking their drama or not. You're partaking in it by actively holding him and not leaving him accountable. You aren't Switzerland.
Okay.
You are active in the
leave the Swiss out of it.
Let me do a super chat here. Lord Ben Mazza says, oh wow, so another moron is saying what we do is cyberbullying and a witch hunt. How sad and pathetic. No, Ben. That would be something. Don't get me wrong. A moron would be something. This is a legion. This is a pack. This is
cornucopia.
Yes, this is like if I told you guys
this is a
about
college frat boy party.
Yeah, if someone would have
it's an orgy.
Yeah, if Hateful Tate or LiConvoy would have said there's literally a whole crescendo, a gathering, a murder of morons that are just not willing to budge on this, I'd probably, even if it was from all of them, I gotta see. I just cannot believe that people are fighting this so tooth and nail. I just don't get it.
Clip when you need one.
They have all they need to smear Alicor as being a pedo too. Well, I mean, since you insist, for allowing Draco to stay and daring to drop Volcon. Well, I could dig into that maybe later. It's effing ridiculous. These people have nothing better to do than harass others to grow their inane channels. They're parasites, dude. My channel's not growing because of this, and neither is Anthony's. The point is,
I haven't made a video in like 8 months.
Yeah, fix that. Anyways, Anthony's channel, this isn't because we're looking for views. This is because it's the right thing to do.
I could drag up old loose shit if I needed views that bad. I bet I could get another 2K if I really worked at it.
You see, that's the best thing about it, because it's an ironclad defense. Of course, they're not going to realize that. They're just going to, oh, this is against what we believe, therefore it must be wrong. No, you just don't use your brain. Moving on. I'd much prefer to dox them and let Darwin sort them out. But unlike them, I have better things to do than waste my time stalking people, which is why you had a meltdown on the server, freaking out because people sent you friend requests, right? Because you have better things to do. Yeah. And newsflash, again, Anthony was already doxed a while ago. Yeah. I freely give my address out to anybody who wants it, because if you are foolish enough to play this game, you'll lose it, and you'll lose it multiple ways. Now, moving on, we had another comment here. And by the way, that was Wandering Calamity, #7283. That is his Discord handle. Now let's go on to Lunar Cult Leader. Anthony, I just want to make sure, is this the person that did the ERP with Draco, or is that another person?
I believe that's the Legend 16, 17. Yeah, the leader. Leader is the one.
17-year-old.
Yes, they're
Okay.
17 now, but they were 16 at the time. And quite frankly, you know what? If it had been anybody else and they'd have slid from 16 to 17, again, I probably would have been busy. But considering it's Draco and I'm kind of treating him with you know what? I even found an exception to fucking zero tolerance. Because fucking when we were talking to Alicor, he's like, oh, you don't have any proof that they're doing. He asked what age they were, and then he asked to go role play. Like, look, what kind of role play do you think they are? They're gonna go pick flowers?
Yes, clearly.
Yeah, like, and he didn't have an answer. Which again, that call will eventually get out. I'll ask the chat. And, you know what? I'll do this now. One for you want the call chopped up into like, I don't know, 10, 15-minute chunks, or just one big giant dump. Because if I
One
do like
big giant dump.
okay, because it's
1 for chopped up, 2 for dump.
yeah, I'll probably include a unedited version on BitChute just so people could be like, "Yo, did it to make them look bad," and it is kind of fun to watch all the dead air a little bit. To be fair, two's the dump, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Also,
yeah,
go ahead
they're
You
and read stuff.
just
Lunar
hear
cult
the
leader.
wheels churning in the background.
Lunar cult
Yep.
leader says, I'd actually like to see this video about our servers by the witch hunters. I want to see how hilariously wrong they are. We're literally reading you out verbatim, honey. And her tag is
it's
Nebula.
really a dude, according to Alicor.
I don't believe that. Nebula Dusk hashtag 6955. These are the people, several of them. There's actually quite a few of them in the server. I'm waiting for my source to give me more information here. But it's really amusing to see all the people that come out of the woodworks to try to defend this person. And apparently the main reason why they're allowing him is because, well, he made some mistakes, but we're going to take care of him. No, you're not Switzerland. That's why the analogy doesn't work. You have actively decided to harbor him despite him ERPing with a minor, despite him threatening other people, despite him dicking with artists and threatening an artist, sending pornography to a minor. All these things are excusable to you. So what isn't excusable to you? Because frankly, I think Draco could shoot someone in front of you and you'd find some cockamamie reason to turn around and look at your shoes. So let me make it as clear as possible. Draco, buddy, pal, person that doesn't have a daddy anymore. You have made several statements about how badly you want to hurt me, and I'm still unharmed. I've got you running around in circles, and I've got people watching you everywhere you go. To Alcor and the rest of this...
I want to give a special shout out. Webcake was nice enough to introduce us to a chat where Draco just showed up. Now, granted, there's probably isn't going to be... And here's the whole thing why I don't really take issue with that. It's some little nobody server. And you know what? Him being in there, it's good to keep an eye on him. But at the same time, Alicor, people are going to be able to look at you keeping him in there. You are someone who has some level of you're someone of note. Your work is all over the goddamn place. It's certainly interesting to Leo and some of his friends that are probably going to be far less accommodating than I am.
Oh, yes.
One could certainly get creative and draw comparisons on why you're being extra nice to someone who preys on real children versus your content that's, a bit
Birds
more
of a
drawn.
feather flock together.
Makes
Anyways,
you wonder. Go ahead.
Going on a little bit further here, the server Webcake and ForNo stuff. The moment I tagged him, and I typed this in all caps, "Hello, Draco K. Nightblaze. Would you like to talk about our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ?" The minute I did that, he bailed immediately.
I would like to add to that for a second, if you want, if I may.
I will
I guess
allow
he's
it.
atheist.
All right, so, when we had Draco on call in Weebus' server, someone brought up the name LiConvoy, and I shit you not, this is what he did.
My favorite Leo name drop that ever made somebody wig out was how bad fucking Lou started having a bad reaction on the Ralph retort.
I don't think I ever saw that part.
Yeah, no, I might even I don't think I taped that one, but yeah, no, freaking Leo. I stayed up on there, and I think Leo had to throw some lemons to go taunt fucking Lou.
Yes, I had to. Needed to be done.
Sure, it wasn't a lot. Anyways,
No.
Lord Ben Mazza, lol. So Draco is scared of Big Bad Leo. I mean, if you're not fucking up, there's nothing to really.
And that's the fun thing. Like,
How
if you're
hard
not
is that to do?
if you're not screwing around, why would you be afraid of me? I mean, unless of course Daddy's not home and he hasn't been an example in your life, and you need someone. But more importantly, like, Draco has specifically talked about how he could fight me, and I'm like, dude, you're a wet potato sack. What are you gonna do? I would literally people were apprehensive to go at it with Fable Heart's boyfriend simply because of the likely smell. It just, I've got a sword. Congratulations, I got like 12. What's your point? Do you know how to use them? The answer is no. Of course he doesn't. He's too busy jacking off to imaginary horse porn and he is training.
Yeah.
I'm not worried about it.
Funny
I'd
thing
love for him to show up on my doorstep.
The funny thing about that is during the stream we had with him, also on Anthony's channel, I think he said something along the lines of, if you enter a ring with me, you won't go out. And he said in the most anime way possible, I can say the same thing about you. What the fuck are you doing?
What, did he threaten you?
No,
Well, he tried to say that, well, if you get into a ring with me, you won't walk off. Dude, like, I can body you with words. I'm not even worried about body. You literally think lifting 80 pounds makes you stronger. That's my warm-up.
Fucking Christ, this guy sounds like Apollo Creed, and Lio's fucking Ivan Drago. Just fucking knock his ass out.
Well, hold on.
You're
Who
giving
do we
him
have?
way too much credit there.
Yeah,
I mean, Samot's seeing me. I'm not tiny.
that's fair.
This is the same it's low IQ freaking. You're a
You see,
pedophile. No, I'm
the thing-
not.
So wait,
The thing
I
is,
want to
the
read
prediction
this.
is pain.
This is from Del Cox, who actually has a YouTube channel. I was present for the conversation with Alicor while AF and GR remained civil about 50% of the time. Yes, I did eventually get annoyed because I had to wait, and I'm waiting for the Ralph retort to come on, and slowly but surely, when someone's not being cooperative, I get tired of just talking to someone who's just not going to listen. And today, when Alicor talked to me midnight his time, I am sympathetic to keeping someone up. I'm not a dick. I even said, hey, go to bed, we could talk about it later. My patience ran out. It got late for me. For lack of a better term, Wingman, I believe that's Hateful Tate, you were a complete asshat. The conversation was completely unprofessional. Flew entirely off the wings of, we're on a crusade, you're going to do what we're here to say, or else. Bribery even came into play. Okay, why is that a bad thing? Like, why? You acted as if I went up to fucking Alicor and offered to bribe him something that would make him look bad. Like, I'm trying to think of... I guess, is this it? Is this basically in, like, the Follicon section of the Brony fandom, throwing out a pedophile is something that'll make you look bad? That's some irreprehensible fucking goddamn no-no? Is that it?
It's like...
I'm just asking.
Well, it's like, I lost my shit, Anthony, the moment he asked us, what is there to gain by kicking him? And I was like, hey, fucking excuse me? I think you have more to lose than to gain by kicking him out.
Like, let's go back. You know, and there were some boners during the whole Toon Critic thing. I never thought that someone would look back and going, hold my beer. Could you imagine? Could you imagine if any of those assholes would have said, not only are we not getting rid of him, no, he can come back.
Oh, that would be a very short conversation.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Like, I get the feeling I would just materialize from wherever I am.
Jesus.
Out of the freaking shadows.
Fucking hell, man. I've yet to... I don't think I've really run into, like, such an adamant... I want people to think for themselves at least a little bit. I mean, come on.
It depends on which head they're thinking
Yeah,
with.
I think that... Here's the whole thing. Like, if you really want to be Alicor's fan, if you really want to, you should have, like, you think somebody would have said, you're on your own on this one. You know what, I'm going to probably back away for a little bit until you're done.
Like, you're making literally the worst possible decisions here, and at some point, somebody, a friend, a pal, a buddy with a cognizant working mind just said, hey, maybe not hit your balls with the chainsaw. That might be ill-advised, but no, apparently he's surrounded by other morons, and I'm guessing either they are impaired, which I highly doubt, because plenty of impaired people make very rational moral decisions, but in this case, I think it's just a bunch of sexual deviants that put whatever their fetish is above everything else, and clearly Draco can't be bad because he enjoys the same type of porn they do, therefore he's good, because their counter-arguments are asinine.
Well, no, here, let's do this.
Ma'am, I'm gonna have to ask you to please let us in that house to arrest this murderer. Well, he didn't murder anybody in my house.
Yeah, they're literally trying to turn Brony into furry. Lee Renfall, this is the same guy who is the mod. I mentioned this, that's what's called a bribe. So you failed to reading comprehension here. Okay, whatever. Draco may well be all these things that you said he is, but you are the one launching a smear campaign. A smear campaign implies I'm lying, does it not?
Yes.
Okay.
Correct.
I'm still waiting for that part. Against an artist and the server for playing Switzerland in the Brony fandom on a witch hunt. I don't really know. The admin team refused to buy into the bullshit you harassed them. So I will say this for Alicor. He said that entirely against and outside of his purview, I was kicked from the server by his mods, and I was like, oh, so you don't agree. Put me back in. Well, that's a discussion. I'm like, you know what he is? Alicor is basically the second coming of the Looney Turtle.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Hold the fuck on, I'm talking.
Yeah, no shit. It's another asshole who's getting in the way between, well, technically, back when we were getting rid of pedophiles before we knew, we just thought Keyblade was creepy and a dick. It turns out there was a little bit more. But anyways, we're talking about people who just wanted to be left alone in peace from the start. You rolled in making demands, threats, and bribes so that you could get your hands on the village idiot. I mean, I haven't been up and down through Alicor's server, Lee, so I cannot absolutely definitively tell you that Draco is your village idiot. I mean, you really...
the village is full
Depends on
of
the
idiots.
village idiots.
Yeah, you are really, really trying to compete for that, Lee. You are threatening the very reputation of an artist. No! He's threatening his reputation. You're now trying
the reputation of a porn artist.
You're now trying to make good on a threat by misrepresenting the actual events that went down. Anybody want to tell me where that is? If anybody's saying in the chat or in this call, anywhere, I would love to hear it. I'm be glad to have someone on, and we'll calmly, patiently try and I've wanted to try and be reasonable with these guys. Can't help but notice your controversy omitted screenshots of all the parts where you and your vapid team of cyberbullies acted like total belligerent assholes and everyone in the server. Where did I act like a belligerent asshole in the server?
I don't know, Anthony. You wouldn't know because you're fucking banned from the server.
Yeah, no shit. Though you may think yourself to be self-righteous, why does this all really have to say about you? We don't want a pedophile on the server. That's it.
And we don't tolerate the nonsense. Pretty good.
And I'm usually pretty good about like cozying up, trying to get along with like higher ups in the fandom. Step makes fun of me to no end, to respect the Brony hierarchy. But I would think that it would have paid off here. I was trying to suck up to the artist, trying to fucking accommodate him, or at least compensate him for fucking having to throw out somebody who's not even a customer. Which, if he was a paying customer, I would have, like, let's say Draco would have paid $5. I would have probably accommodated freaking Alicor for 3 months, so I would have given him $15. Here you go. That'll give you enough time to find yourself a new patron.
Well, it's like, here's the thing. Like, you said he has a Patreon, and I think we talked about this. It's like, if the problem is if you ban Draco and you're worried about him making an alt, just make the fucking Discord server something you have to get by paying through his Patreon. That dude's a fucking cheap bastard.
No, here's my other question here to the admin here. Where Eve points out that basically I didn't make any threats or demands, and they said, but you, Hateful Tate, and all the others did. Okay, let's pretend for a second here. I know it's going to take a lot of imagination from everyone that me and Hateful Tate are assholes. Hard.
Actually, I believe that.
Yeah, I do too.
I am an asshole.
Yeah, but because we're assholes, you're just going to disregard Eve? That's not how this works. You just don't want to do it. Lee, you just do not want to do it, or you're too cucked to stand up to fucking Alicor. Truthfully, I saw the screenshots of you and Draco, and I'd say that you have the biggest justification out of everyone to be present on the behalf with Draco. And again, I would be glad to, if Eve were around, to have them come along and talk to Alicor, who just didn't want to do anything. But you too have a Discord server that, much I gathered from the screenshots. Would you honestly like someone rolling into your server, belittling you, and threatening to shut your server down just because Draco was in it? Because that's what's happened in Alicor's server. Well, no, we asked at first. I specifically went in there and said, why is Draco in here? You acted like I kicked in the door, said, bitch, bring me a beer, and while you're at it, throw out that pedophile. That did not happen. That absolutely did not happen.
I could picture some people in Limbo doing that, though.
Technically, I think one of the first things I did when I got in there was list all the problems and ways I could have gotten their server shut down.
Which you should have just done. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, I tried to. They didn't do shit about it.
Yeah, I know. It's because furries are running the damn place. Because I have seen this being lumped in with the wingman claimed to have been asshats, at least on the terms of phrasing of the original content. Yeah, and here's another thing Brony Inspector brought up here. He says he knows at least a couple people who have adult servers. And the first thing that would have came out of somebody's mouth, even as a joke, he said, Anthony, if you would have gone on this server and announced that you were 14, you'd be gone. Even if they knew, they'd be like, nope, we're not dealing with this shit, you're gone. I'd have been banned, and that'd have been it. I'd like to have 3 different people, maybe 4, or as many as I could get, who have like an adult server that's run responsibly, and I'd like to get their input. Since I know, you can consider me a prude and hateful and Leo, I'd like to hear what other adult servers, not Derpy Brew, because we already know they don't give a shit. I actually talked to one of their fucking admins who was basically felt that Toon Critic got, a bad deal. I really need to get back to that someday.
I have a friend who runs an adult server, and they very much have that rule. Even as like a joke, if you say you're underage, you're immediately banned.
Yeah, not temp banned, gone, permanent.
Yeah,
Okay.
perma-banned.
All right then, perfect.
There are some very few cases where they can be unbanned if they are very much like proving, like giving like legal documentation of they are over the age of consent.
Okay. Let's see, following draw.
But few people are willing to give that information, so most of them end up being perma-banned.
If you aren't one of the wingman acting like asshats, this doesn't apply to you. I'm pretty sure he fucking throws that back. If someone came to you with proof that a pedophile was in my server and said to kick him, I would kick the pedophile. Bravo, Eve. This really shouldn't be that hard, especially since I know there are a few minors in the majority of my servers that isn't behind an age confirmation wall is safe for 13+. So I would take the precautions and have no issue kicking out a pedophile or a zoophile above and beyond. Eve of Halloween draws. The way it was phrased just seems to lump us all to... Who's doing that right now? Thank you. Which is why I responded. It doesn't apply to me, then respond it should hold no weight. Eve of Halloween draws as a fellow art... Hey!
Who's doing all the background noise? Knock it off.
Yeah, mute or whatever the fuck. I'm gonna guess it was either hateful or elf. As fellow artists...
Wasn't me.
Wasn't me either.
Continuing.
Okay, I'm gonna assume it was Countess Strong then. I would honestly expect you to empathize with Alicor wanting to be able to police his own server without outside coercion. I would similarly expect you to be appalled by these strong-arm tactics. Nothing about Alicorn's stance is unreasonable. So basically, it had nothing to do with how we acted. So even if it did, here's what I would have done. Alright, I'm gonna watch the fucking Skype call. Who's fucking doing that shit?
What?
So it's either Countess
Not me.
or Elf. I heard it one more fucking time.
It's not me. I'm not even drawing right now.
Okay. As fellow artists with our server, I honestly expect you to empathize with Alicor and his server without outside coercion. I would simply expect you to be appalled by these strong-arm tactics. Nothing about Alicorn's stance is unreasonable. The admin team basically said that we appreciate the heads up, and if he does anything, we'll kick him. We proved he did, and your response was, well, that was 6 months ago. You didn't... It would have been one thing if they would have said, okay, you did this, we're going to put you in timeout. I wouldn't be happy with it, but it would at least show that you did something. But we won't act on hearsay. We provided screenshots. Your boss acknowledged those were true. What's so wrong with that, especially in an 18-plus server? We also provided proof that basically the looter, whatever the hell they are, was 17. And they're like, well, they've lied about their age. Who can say? Then you throw them the fuck out! Holy shit! Anyways. But he did do that there, and I honestly don't care how Alicor runs things. But just because I, too, am an artist with a server does not mean I should empathize with Alicor. I do agree with the massive spamming of... Do I agree with the massive spamming of the server? Didn't do that. No, but I told Alicor their current security system needs better reform, seeing as it's free for all servers as is at least one user who publicly in the server said that she was 2 years under her country's legal age of consent in there. Which means there could be others. Alicor didn't want to look into this at all. Like, he basically said, oh, they've lied about their age. It's out of my hands. And he basically said, and I don't care. Over and over again. I heard it. Anyways, I don't agree with the strong arm tactics, but Draco is targeting minors in the server, asking about her breast size and the like. Alicor said it's the kind of behavior was seen to be dealt with, and that minor would be allowed in. Would not be allowed in. Also, it's not an 18-plus server if a 14-year-old can be allowed. Some areas of China, legal, etc. That's true. Yeah, Alicor specifically said, we'll let in younger people if it's, appropriate to their country. But he's also saying it's an 18-plus server, so which one is it? Alicor lets underage users if the country has a lower age of consent, but those laws do not fly with Discord or online adult content. They are strictly 18 and up, and only on an international level. So I'm sorry, but I personally cannot fully empathize with Alicor. Not when a child is being sexually targeted. I'd like to hear this guy's response. Your response doesn't hold weight to begin with, but I felt it polite to respond to you anyway and clear the air. I suppose that may sound offensive, but I did not intend it to be such. Why the fuck are you talking to people if you're just not going to listen? Jesus Christ.
Because he's a moron.
I think I always seem to get retarded confused with offensive a lot.
No, 1 second. Oh, hey, Ramus. Okay, so how much evidence do I have to find on Draco to get people to get rid of him? They're not going to do anything, Ramus. Or Norden. They have zero intention. They're not interested in doing a damn thing. I suppose we could do a pre-recorded thing and just include all the not safe for work stuff on a BitChute video. And we could show all the Fulicon that they lit into that server. Let's see, skimming ahead here. Basically, let's see. I don't want to hear any parties held accountable who are not guilty. That's my whole problem with this whole mess in the first place. Where I, too, wrongfully lump you in with the rest of them. I'd be guilty of the very thing that I'm calling FNGR out for. That said, if you perpetuate the smear campaign against Alicor, that you're part of the problem as far as I'm concerned. Aren't you doing the same thing I'm doing?
Well, I think that means that they're basically giving you their consent, Anthony, because there's no smear campaign going on.
Yeah, no shit. Well, here's the whole gist of it. I'm saying if you're not getting rid of Draco, you're part of the problem. Well, if you're criticizing Draco, you're part of the problem. Is that hit? Like you're either pro pedo or you're not?
I'll take not. All day.
I think they're a pro. This is weird. Pro anti-business problems.
Pro not do anything.
Yeah, basically.
It really is Looney the Turtle.
Pro perversion.
Yeah. Draws. You yourself ought to know that the server owners can't see everything all the time. Yeah, but you guys know now. I get that too. If our big thing was gotcha, it's too late for you to react, but we're not doing that. You should also see that anyone can lie about their age online, and there's not much that anyone can do about it to find out their truth. Yeah, we're hopefully we can go talk to some people who have adult servers and how they can handle this situation, and we can find out that basically the way Alicor is doing things is just reckless, lazy, and irresponsible. And if I'm wrong, I'll come back and apologize. Here's another one. I know Alicor is supposedly friends with TRY. If he could get TRY to come up and saying everything he's doing is completely on the level, I'll take that into consideration. And I've talked to TRY and Mitzi's like about 4 years ago. The conversation listed in the screenshots is in the middle night over 6 months ago, and there hasn't been a repetition of it since. It would have been a little late to punish anyone at this point, don't you think? No. No. Absolutely not. Hence why everyone is watching Draco, and anything further from him won't be tolerated. Who believes that?
Nobody, because it was proven as incorrect.
Yeah, no shit. So basically, if he gets away with it for another 6 months, and you people just finally get off your ass because one of us pointed it out, yeah, we're just gonna let him get away with it out of spite. You weren't gonna do anything anyways. Alicor is a Russian artist whose limited understanding of English language and how Discord and intentional law work. He did seem to fucking play dumb an awful lot in that call. The rest of the server has had to help him with a lot of the stuff regarding Discord policy and server settings. There have been times where we've explained that things that weren't appropriate to Discord, and he said he just didn't care. It's a small server with a very specific fan base, and a lot of concerns were never a problem until Draco thing got started. So do try to keep that in mind.
Pussies!
Jesus. Do you have something useful to contribute or an irrelevant petty inline quips of extent of your intellectual capabilities? Jesus Christ, the fart sifting is strong in this one. Do you have anything that you want to add to this? Because I think I've actually got everything from the comments section here, Leo.
No, I just want to drive home to the point. These people have been given every single chance to deal with this properly. You cannot give predators any sort of open space to operate in. You have to run them out of everywhere. Because when it comes down to the whole, well, just report them to the police, and if they don't do anything, then clearly it's okay. That's not how anything in reality works. So you have to ostracize these people from your communities on top of contacting the police about what goes on here. And when it comes to what they're doing here, they're trying to pretend that they're being the middleman here, but they're not. They have chosen a side by willfully shielding him and removing others that will call him out. They know what they're doing. It's intentional. And they think everyone else is as dumb as they are. So I am waiting for the doxing. I am happily waiting for all the reports. We're going to get it all. You're not going to get anything removed. You have no idea what you're doing. You guys couldn't pour freaking water out of a boot if instructions were in the heel.
I'm going to try and grab a clip. Fucking hell. Mouse stopped working. There it is. Oh, and I'd like to state this to Dark Phoenix. You do not have to message me 50 goddamn times a day, you stalker ex-girlfriend. Holy shit, you creepy motherfucker. Leave me the fuck alone.
Oh, that guy, yeah, he messaged me.
Well,
too.
that escalated quick.
Oh,
No, he
Well, all right then, Mary.
I'll go ahead and read. Hold on, I'll go ahead and read that off because it's amusing. Sup, yo, this is IRL Blaze from YouTube. The link expired. You sent me one for a server. LOL. The invite expired. I'm aware. True. Can I get an invite? No. Why? Because I said no. Well, because you said so doesn't mean anything to me. But it does, because you can't get it without me. Don't be smart with me, dude. You gonna stop me, son? And nothing from there.
That's amazing.
Is okay. Asking about them is not okay. Oh, yeah, that's actually a good point. It looks weird that someone can ask about someone who is allegedly, there you go, allegedly a pedophile. Being the pedophile, allegedly, is okay. Asking about them is not okay.
He's talking to somebody. Leave it be.
Well, that and he's also playing audio.
Yeah, was the audio playing at all or no?
It's really quiet if it is
quiet.
playing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hi guys, my name is ForNoGoodReason, and welcome to another How Not to Brony.
God damn it.
Yeah, I guess it's just not going to play well over the fucking stream there, so I will have to
That's
upload that
nice.
separately.
What?
Bug.
He died again.
Wait, what is your problem, Step? Yeah, no. Oh, am I quiet now, or is it just as the recording?
Okay, now it's... Yeah, it's...
Oh, better. You weren't as loud as you were before, though.
We can hear you, but we can't hear the recording
Yeah,
from
no, I'll
here.
just have to upload that separately. It's fine.
Alright.
Oh, I'm quiet?
Oh,
Yeah,
no, you're fine now.
Okay, people are...
No, you're fine.
Yeah, you're fine now.
I'm still saying you're still quiet, but...
Okay, well, if anybody would like to check the stream. I'm not sure we even have anything left. Still quiet. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, Wub kept saying it too, so...
Every single stream.
Is that the whole stream here? I'm going to pop in and out of the call.
I don't think so.
He left.
I said I was going to pop in and out of the call. Holy shit.
Whoops. No, I just
Not
realized
paying
that.
attention.
Why would you leave us, Anthony?
God damn.
Is the audio
Yeah.
better now?
I mean, I can hear you just
Better.
fine.
Okay,
Oh,
yeah, and
that's
I
true.
guess it was just basic.
Okay. There we go.
Okay, well, that was... Sometimes that just happens. But again, I don't think we have anything left to talk about then, right?
I don't know.
Oh, I had an idea if anybody wants to get in on this. You guys have seen Brony's React or some shit like that. I came up with this idea, suggested it to Hateful Tate, that we do like Pedo Hunters React. So when we start getting like retarded freaking remarks from like Draco Nightblaze or people like this defending shit like that, we can like do like little goofy outtakes making fun of it, make it more of a fun kind of like, hey, look, let's not do this.
That'd be
I'm
cathartic.
okay with that. That'll be fun.
That would be cathartic.
Yeah, I was about to say I'm almost...
I will prepare my most dramatic die.
Well, yeah,
Edgy.
tell you what, I'll fucking I'll probably just throw up a background for fucking the discussion with Alicor, and I'll have that up as soon as possible, guys. I hope to hear from you soon. I'll be up on I don't know, either here or Fan and Frenzy. So,
and for those of you who may still have Alicor or whatever his name is on your friends list, do yourself a favor and remove that clown. But let him know why first.
No shit.
Yeah.
Let him know first before you vibe check him.
All right.